you? Fritz, you're alive.
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
So that's what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
And I see you're not doing too badly for yourself. What are you up to?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
Nah. And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa, but who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I was the one who helped her get out of Skalitz. She lives with her uncle in a mill in Rattay.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Rattay. It's overcrowded with refugees and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in the Dechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, two survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
I'm from Skalitz, and I know them both personally. They worked in the royal mines, and their master couldn't praise them highly enough.
In the skalitz mines. That's skillful work. I'll be glad to talk to them. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here. Farewell.
The monastery wants you to pay for treatment. That doesn't sound right.
Leave it be, Howell.
I won't. What happened?
We might have pummeled his face. But don't get involved, Henry. We'll settle it on our own.
Wait, who exactly did you pummel?
Well, he kept on bothering us and... in a nutshell, it was his fault and we're not going to talk about it anymore.
But couldn't there be a way to settle it? Maybe he'd let you off the...
There isn't.
But don't be a twat, Fritz. The two of you are up to your necks in shit, and you're gonna play tough instead of seeing sense.
Go to hell, Henry. You and Elias. You're one as bad as the other.
Yeah, if you say so, I'll leave it be. I heard you had a fight with Fritz and Matthew.
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me, and I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
Isn't that a little unchristian? You wouldn't want personal spite to ruin their lives, would you?
Well, those were just idle threats, really. If they come and apologize, there's always a possibility of forgiveness.
Farewell. About your brawl with Elias. Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. On my honor. Thanks.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. I couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
the reward we talked about, well, we haven't got 2 groschen to rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter. You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
Are you happy here?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
Well, what's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
A fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And the miller won't stick up for you. I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand, and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So, he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working at a mill. But not with him around. It's unbearable. And there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind. Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew going to see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
And what do you want to do about it? Do you think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
God save you. What can I do for you?
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing around here.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe. But they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill. And I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Yeah, nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before her belly started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do their work, they'll be able to finish it faster.
But...
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
But do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave Jane alone in the meantime?
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't. You can tell them that. May the Lord watch over you.
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have bought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help.
Be a bit more careful.
As you wish.
Here's your share.
My share of what? What the hell are you on about?
Well, that thing with Thomas, somehow his ring ended up with us.
Thomas? Who's he?
That bastard of a foreman at the mill in Adechko, where you got us the job.
Are you out of your tiny mind? If anyone finds out you robbed him, we'll all be fucked.
Take it easy. It wasn't theft exactly. We all know he stole that ring himself. So if it comes out, he'll be in the shit too. He'll keep his mouth shut.
Where'd you find someone willing to buy and not ask too many questions?
It wasn't easy, but then Fritz thought of Andrew.
Andrew?
The innkeeper here. They say all sorts of things about him.
And how did it go with him?
Well, first he didn't seem too keen, but when he saw the ring, he bought it off us. Actually, I'm not surprised. After all, we'll spend all the money on booze here anyway.
I wish you good luck. I'll be off before you come up with some other madcap scheme.
Now that you mention it...
Out with it then. What have you thought up now?
I can't help myself. It's force of habit. We tried to be good at Sasau.
So good that you punched a novice in the mouth.
Exactly. We broke our backs working in the mill.
While you eyed up the miller's daughter.
And they drove us out. The only worthwhile thing we did recently was give that wastrel a thrashing, take his ring, and sell it to Andrew.
I'm not sure I like where you're going with this.
And where's that? No one in the country gives a damn about the law. And if we knock some thief over the head in the woods, or ambush some wagon with supplies for Sigismund's soldiers, I won't lose any sleep over it.
Those swine deserve even worse. But that's what Sir Hanush is here for, isn't he? What can we do?
Wake up, for Christ's sake! It's war! They skewered your parents, didn't they? They fucking burned down our fucking village, didn't they? Don't you give a damn about that?
Of course I fucking do.
And now, there's a herd of swine ransacking skalitz. Those fuckers are trampling over the ashes of Jeremiah, and Desmond, and Siegfried, and Tristan.
Let's chop those bastards to pieces, one after the other.
I can't let it go, Hal. Even if I have to do it on my own, I'll put the fear of God into those bastards.
You won't be alone.
I knew we could rely on you, Hal. I knew it.
So, what's the plan?
Well, I thought Andrew the innkeeper here could help us, but he's nervous. Best ask Fritz. He sorted out selling the ring, and he knows Andrew better.
All right, I'll do that.
Certainly. I'll fetch it right away.
I hear you've got a plan to fleece the local villains.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Otherwise we soon won't have a pot to piss in.
And the innkeeper here could lend a helping hand.
Exactly.
So what's the problem?
He reckons we're not up to it. You should try and talk him into it. You were always good at that. Oh, and tell him I sent you, so he doesn't send you packing.
Do you know how I might set about convincing Andrew?
Mention money.
That's all?
Aye. Our friend the innkeeper's as greedy as they come.
Huh? God's sake, what can I do for you?
Fritz sent me. I'd like to talk about...
Ah, you'd like some wine from my cellar? I have it right here, in the back.
That's right. Show me the way.
Goodbye. How are you, Henry?
Fritz sent me.
Look, lad, I'm fond of Fritz. I knew his old man, but Matthew, he's insane. Robbing people.
Only those that deserve it.
And you think his lordship won't mind? Have you any idea the kind of shit you can get into? I don't believe you're up to it.
Why don't you believe us? There's 4 of us, and there's a fucking war on. If we're careful, no one will catch us.
It's still too risky.
There's plenty of coin in it, and almost no risk for you.
So, there'd be a share in it for me, eh?
A handsome one.
We'll see if you're up to it. You'll need a disguise.
What disguise?
Use your head. You can never be sure no one will see you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to put on some other clothes, or...
Dress up as Cumans.
What?
It's obvious, isn't it? Everyone knows they're looting. If someone's robbed by Cumans, no one will investigate.
That's true. But I'll have to get some Cuman clothes.
A captain's. And 3 sets of them.
What?
On account of the helmets. No one will recognize you with them on.
And where the hell am I supposed to get it?
There's gangs of Cumans around skalitz. I've got a good idea where to find them from. Passers-by.
I'm supposed to attack a Cuman camp.
A minute ago, you were full of yourself. And now, all of a sudden, you've lost your nerve.
But the whole fucking camp.
Scouts are deserters. Most likely the ones who are trying to skive off or take easy pickings. And even Cumans have to sleep. My humble greetings. How may I serve you?
I've got them. 3 full outfits.
What? Everything?
The whole bloody lot.
Well then, let's see how you look in it.
Oh. Is that it? It's a bit...
Ordinary?
Are you serious? I got it straight from the fucking Cumans.
Oh, it's not exactly, terrifying, is it?
It's about as frightening as my aunt's speckled hen.
It just don't look much like a Cuman to me.
Have any of you actually seen a Cuman?
What? Do you mean close up?
Don't be daft.
Miramir's described them many times.
Everyone knows Cumans are monstrous. They're barbarians. Pagans.
Whereas you look like a little boy playing at soldiers.
And just who the hell is Miramir?
He's a regular in my tavern. He works as a caravan guard, and he knows what he's talking about. He's been eye to eye with a Cuman, and he's lived to tell the tale. You can ask him yourself.
Nah, what do they know?
Oi, Henry! Take that ridiculous thing off before anyone sees you, eh?
God save you. What can I do for you?
They tell me you've seen a lot of Cumans. They say you'd recognize one even in the dark.
I certainly would. Buy me a drink and I'll tell you stories that will make your hair curl.
Here you go.
Thanks. What's your name anyway?
Henry.
Anyway, not long ago, I was escorting a goods caravan all the way from Vienna, when all of a sudden, a terrible storm came down. Hail, lightning, snow, the works.
Snow? In summer?
Don't interrupt. Where was I? Oh, that's right, the storm. We strayed off the path. Couldn't see the ground beneath our feet. And all of a sudden, we heard singing. In the distance, we saw a fire in the clearing with malevolent creatures ranged around it, singing demonic songs.
These malevolent creatures didn't mind the snow. Wouldn't they have preferred to sing somewhere warm?
Be quiet. Anyway, as if in a trance, we walked towards the fire. And at that moment, we saw them. Were those hideous creatures monsters or demons, you ask? No. They were Cumans. And a bunch of infants, crying and sniffling.
So, someone was feeling the cold. I'd have been shivering too. Snow doesn't do me any good, especially in summer.
And those devilish creatures were drinking the blood of babies and fornicating with she-devils. We stood there paralyzed with fear until I, and I alone, managed to break out of the spell. I can tell you, I never ran so fast in my life. I was the only one to escape. Since that time, I've been able to do nothing but sit here. I can't work since that awful shock. I'm probably still under a spell.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Probably a spell of laziness. Listen, Millimir, what you just said is complete and utter bollocks from start to finish.
What the hell would you know about it, peasant?
I'm from fucking Skalitz. I watched those bastards butchering my kith and kin with my own eyes.
You might have said that before. I could have saved the yarn for someone who'd appreciate it.
Where did you hear this nonsense? Who's been spreading all these rumors about how frightening the Cumans look?
Oh, the people from around these parts. Bram, the charcoal burner told me about them. He lives in the woods near here. Then there's Olener, the wife of the Talmberg fisherman. And young Vashek, a stable boy at the stud farm in Ushitz. He saw them too.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
They say you know what Cumans look like.
I do. Once when I was going alone through the dark woods.
That's of no interest to me.
But...
Look, save the tall tales to impress the wenches. I'm not interested.
Well... They're decked out in raven feathers because...
Or so a black hen would do.
But that wouldn't have magical powers.
Right.
May the...
Jeez. They say you know about Cumans.
Fangs. They wear wolves' fangs to make themselves invisible in the dark. Then they can creep around like beasts of prey as sneaky as death.
That was quick.
Fangs.
Day.
I hear you can tell me something about Cumans.
No, sir. My master would whip me for telling tall tales again. But really, it's all true.
I won't hit you. Just tell me, is it the truth?
Really, sir. I still see them every time I try to sleep.
Aha. All right. So what do the Cumans wear?
They wear the skins of dogs hunted down in the night, so no weapon can hurt them.
Right. Thanks.
Being up. I am at your service, Sir Knight.
I got fucking everything.
Wonderful. Come with me. God be with you.
What's taking them so long?
I really don't know.
Ready? Great. Now put it on.
Well, definitely an improvement.
That's good.
That's really fucking good.
You don't think it's too much?
It's perfect. If I met you at night, I'd shit myself.
That's exactly what Cumans look like.
Says the man who's never seen one.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what people think Cumans look like.
Yep, it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
We're only just getting started.
Yes. I'm honored that you should come to me.
Have you heard about anything interesting going on lately?
Just some talk about lost sheep and indecent wenches. Probably nothing to interest you.
Maybe later. I was thinking of something more in the line of work opportunities.
I don't really have anything specific right now, but I did hear about something interesting from one of your neighbors.
Who?
I don't know his name, but it was about as old as you. He said his family owned the Skalitz Tavern.
Young Adam, then. And the interesting part?
He decided he wanted to go back home, see the damage and so on. And someone looted it right in front of his nose.
I know. I've met those scavengers before. It's not that interesting, just sad, really.
Well, it certainly isn't Christian. But the thing is, they were hiding money in that cellar of theirs.
I wouldn't count on it. The looters probably spent all of it by now if he crawled into the right tavern. And anyway, I'm sure they didn't exactly have the royal treasure hidden there.
This Adam said it was enough to fix a whole cottage, or to go exploring the world.
All right, but it still seems shady. And you haven't really given me much to go on.
Maybe, but I don't have anything better. Why don't you find him
hungry. I'd like
and
a bite
ask
to
him
eat.
and see where it leads you?
And did he say where he was going?
He said he's going to Ratai, that he has some arrangements there.
It won't be easy to find him. Ratai's a little overcrowded nowadays.
Then you'll have to ask someone, won't you? Bloody hell. Do you want me to hold your hand while you do it?
I'll be on my way then.
Go. Go. And ask him when you see him. Maybe you'll think of something.
Take. God be with you.
You went to Skalitz on your own, didn't you? That took guts.
Not really. It took me a while before I could work up the courage.
That was sensible of you. I went back straight away, and I almost got killed.
I know. I heard. That's part of the reason I was so nervous.
And how did it go? Did you do everything you wanted?
There wasn't anything to do. Someone already did it before me. I wasn't even able to catch that thieving bastard.
What thief?
Some shady-looking character. Whole face smeared with soot. He shot out of the basement as soon as I went by and ran away with his loot. I got such a scare. I didn't think about running after him, and he stole absolutely everything. Even our new kettle.
What did he look like?
I didn't get a good look at him. He was covered in soot, and his sack of loot was so full, he had the kettle tied to it on the outside. It was gleaming.
A sooty man, a big sack, and a new kettle. Of course, he could clean himself up and throw away the sack. Maybe it was a devil. Or a charcoal burner.
You know, it really could have been a charcoal burner. That sack definitely looked like a charcoal burner's sack, and there are a lot of those around Rovna, so he wouldn't have far to go.
What was it he took from your place?
I don't know. My father told me never to talk about it.
What harm is there in telling me now? I can't steal it. Someone got there before me.
That's true. My father hid some money and valuables there. There was a jeweled cross he wanted to give Bianca as a dowry.
What did the cross look like?
Why do you ask?
Well, if I saw it somewhere...
What? You want to look for it?
Well, like I said, if I see it or hear something about it, we'll see.
That would be so kind. I've nothing left. If I had that cross, at least I'd have something to remember them all by. The cross itself was silver, and it had a small red ruby in the middle, like a heart. And it was hanging on a red string.
And did you tell the catchpoles about it?
I did. Alex asked me what happened and then sent me straight to them.
And what happened?
They said they were sorry, but they don't have anyone who could search all the houses looking for a kettle. So they told me if I don't know who it was, then there's nothing they can do. Good luck.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I found Adam and asked him about his stolen stuff.
And did you find out anything useful?
You could say that. It was a man covered in soot who stole a new kettle and a silver cross.
No one tried to sell me a kettle, but that cross had a red stone and string, right?
How did you know? Don't tell me you're a fortune teller.
Of course not. Someone offered to sell it to me, but the whole thing seemed shady, so I told him I didn't want it.
So what did he say?
Nothing. He wanted something to eat and drink, and then left.
And that's it?
Yes. If he cursed me, then he did it under his breath.
And do you have any idea who it was?
I don't know his name, just said he's a charcoal burner. He's from Rovna, and only shows up here occasionally.
So a complete stranger just happens to wander in here and offers to sell you a stolen cross? Come on. You definitely know who it was.
Watch how you speak to me, boy. I haven't seen you do anything yet, so you keep your comments to yourself. If it weren't for those two cretins, I wouldn't even talk to you.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that you know your way around, and you usually know who's who.
Stop talking right now.
All right, I'll look into it.
Good luck.
My respects to you.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
Not since I ran away from there. Why do you ask?
Because someone saw you wandering around the houses there, poking around.
That's ridiculous. Like I said, I haven't been back since that horrible day.
If you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll make you regret it.
Jesus Christ, all right. I was there. But I came late. The good stuff had already been taken, and I didn't want to go poking around.
Carry on.
It was... Look, this is the rest of what I found. I don't want it. Just take it. Give it to the needy. Whatever you want. Farewell.
God be with you.
It wasn't easy, but in the end I pulled it off.
So how did it go? Have you got anything, or not?
I tracked down the charcoal burner, but it wasn't worth it. He didn't have anything with him anymore.
He didn't have anything? It's ridiculous. He had to have at least a heap of groschen.
And how do you know that? I beat everything he had out of him, and it wasn't more than a few groschen. Maybe he managed to drink it all.
Maybe. If it was the right man. Are you sure you didn't steal from the wrong person?
He confessed and gave up the money. If his conscience was clear, he wouldn't do that, would he?
Depends on the type of thrashing you gave him, doesn't it? It doesn't matter. Let's leave it be. You can take those groschen and stick them you-know-where.
So, what are you scheming up this time?
Well, we've got this idea. You might have heard there's coin coming to the Talmberg quarry to pay the workers their overdue wages.
I haven't heard anything about it.
They owe them for a quarter of a year. There's a lot of quarrymen in that quarry.
But it's bound to be well guarded, isn't it?
Maybe not, if we time it right.
And why aren't we talking about it with Andrew?
Andrew hasn't got the balls for it. He sent us to hell.
He did? How come?
I don't know. He just said he won't do it.
Andrew's not interested. Is it that dangerous? Look, if I'm going to do this, I want to know everything.
You'll know everything you need to know in time.
Well, those people work for Sigismund?
Yeah. For Sigismund.
Fuck, Matthew, do they really?
No.
And you think it's all right? Is that what we are now? Common thieves?
What do you want me to tell you? Take a good fucking look at us. You're all right, but we're up to our necks in shit.
But a thing like this...
Do you think we're any better off now than we were in Sasau, on our last legs at the tavern?
No. I suppose not.
So you understand? Ever since Skalitz, everything's been going to hell. Why should we have to pay the price for that? To hell with the fucking quarrymen!
I'm in.
Wonderful. But before we get to work, we have to find out more. We are gonna go and take a sly look at that quarry. Meanwhile, you go to Talmberg and find out when they're bringing the coin. Try to find out who's gonna be guarding it. Even better, If you could make it so there's as few guards as possible, well, you know, I wouldn't be upset at all.
So how do I make sure they cut down the number of guards when they transport the money?
Easy. Make a right ruckus.
Ruckus?
Ruckus. Hubbub. Bedlam. I mean, just give someone around Talmberg a punch in the mouth, start a brawl, or steal something valuable.
And that'll help.
Of course. The townsfolk will be furious. They'll start clamouring for more guards in the town. Take my word for it. 9 times out of 10, punching someone in the gob is the best solution.
Do you have any other ideas?
Well, most guards, especially the ones in charge, are lazy fuckers. If you could figure out a way to get rid of their horses, I'd bet at least a few of them won't go anywhere.
Thanks.
What a pleasure. I'm sure there's some other tricks you could try. Well, that's all I can think of.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
You look like you swallowed a wasp, Master Groom. What's going on?
I should think so. I have 3 horses with a fucking colic.
Well, that's not such a tragedy. You need to keep the horses warm and rub them down with straw, especially the belly and flanks. That'll help settle the stomach. Give them clean water, change the straw often, and leave them enough room to roll around if they want to. And walk them round now and again, but let them go at their own pace. Don't push them. Keep that up for a week, and they'll be good as gold.
My word. I've been handling horses for years, but I never heard about rubbing them with straw for colic. Thanks for the help. I'm known in all the stables around here, and I'll be telling them about you, too. The thing is, Sir Robard wants 4 horses for the train to the quarry, and they won't be fit by then. Certainly not this one here.
The quarry? What's going on there?
I don't know, but a guarded train like that, they must be carrying something valuable.
When do they need the horses?
There's still some time. They're supposed to be there in 5 days at noon.
What about some help from someone else?
You mean from that old hag who lives in the woods? I'm not so foolish as to believe in spells.
It's not about spells. She can try to make a herbal concoction. I know something about herbs, and I'll make sure she doesn't put anything in it that would be bad for the horses.
All right, then. Let's see what the old hag comes up with.
Is there anything interesting going on around these parts?
Interesting? Not really. Sad, more like. You know, I always liked the Neuhof horses best. They had, well, a spark to them. Old Smeal was killed in that raid, and I'm afraid the stud farm will never recover without him. May the...
So, I'm here.
Good. Do you know when they'll come?
I know. In 5 days. They should be here at noon. We still have time.
And do you know how many of them there'll be?
I'm not sure exactly, but I made sure there'll be less than there was supposed to be.
Good work. So you think there's no point in finding out more?
I'll see. Either way, be ready. Did you two find out anything?
Nothing much here, but that doesn't mean we were idle while you were strolling around Talmberg.
Well, I had to stop by the tavern, didn't I? It's called investigating.
Investigating the bottom of a tankard, more like. Their chief is strict as hell. I don't reckon he'll reduce their shifts, even if the money does come. If the money does really come at noon, he'll store it somewhere and let the guards from Talmberg protect it. It'll probably be in that hut on the edge of the quarry. I don't reckon all the guards from Talmberg will want to stand around there all day. If we get lucky, some of them will bugger off after a while.
Aye, seems likely.
So, how do we go about it?
We have to be patient. No shenanigans, even if we have the silver in our reach. Don't let your guard down. And then, we either charge them, or try to do it by stealth.
All right. Now we'll just have to wait until they arrive.
You gonna wait with us?
Aye, that's probably best. They're here. Let's do this.
So how do we go about it?
We'll charge them, hard and quick. Take the money and take the horses so we get away from anyone who's thinking about chasing us.
I love it, that's just our style.
Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock. Well, that's the end of you. What are you doing here? Tired of... Curse it! We haven't even started.
Well then, was it
well
worth
now,
it?
look what's come crawling out from under some rock.
Hey.
Hey, who's there?
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's that.
Why, never. The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter. The answer to my prayers. Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
What was that noise?
Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock. Well, that's the end of you.
The answer to my prayers. Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone. What have we got here? Entertainment. Great.
What's that? What's that? What?
Why now? The pig turns up willingly for the slaughter.
Yeah! Yeah!
Fucking hell! Christ, I'm still shaking.
The pair of you would jump at your own shadows. It was nothing.
Fuck off! You were shitting yourself. I could smell you a mile off.
Me? No fucking way. I was just...
You won't talk your way out of this one. So show us the bloody money then.
Here it is.
Holy shit!
A third of it is yours.
Fuck yeah! First we get drunk out of our heads. Let Andrew see what he missed out on.
Jesus! That was fucking amazing!
What? You actually enjoyed it?
Aye, of course! This is how you make money.
You're fucking right.
I knew you had it in you. So, show us the money.
Here it is.
I can't believe it! We're rich!
That we are.
I'm gonna spend a week in the bathhouse. Fuck it, a month. And every wench in the province will be in there with me.
Hey, watch it! Damn!